you know, there was a lot of, when you're in uni and
Yeah, a
you
lot of
did
fun.
a lot of fun, a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
unnecessary dalliances,
Mm-hmm.
friends
Tell me
coming
about
with
that.
heartbreak stories and all of that, and all that girl power. You don't need him, and all that stuff. And I think Whitney Houston she did us a solid on that album.
Yeah,
I
she
don't think
did.
there's
I
any one
do agree
song on
with you
that
that
album
she
that I
did.
don't
She
like.
wasn't afraid to sort of like dig down and go to the sensitive side of her.
Yes.
Especially there's a song that you picked before because we switched it around, which was You're Still My Man, Nothing Can Change It. We still belong together. That's such a song. That is such a song. Yeah, sorry, we're getting carried away. This is Venus Sessions, and I am sitting here and talking to Salihat Rahaman. She is a fashion entrepreneur and the founder, CEO of Abaya Lagos, a luxury modest wear clothing company for women that exists to promote a positive identity for generations across cultural and religious backgrounds. She is also an architect, by the way. Her experience in professional architectural consultancy is garnered from work experience at UAC Property Development Company and Design Group Nigeria, where after 5 years she rose to the position of Executive Director until her resignation in 2018 to run her own company full time, and that is Abaya. What do women like about Abaya the most when they walk in? I mean, because the experience starts from when they start speaking to you. They call you or they walk in and they see you. What happens?
I think they're disarmed by the fact that the pieces are not your typical, Muslima, just straight jacketed outfits. I think that's the first thing that disarms them. I love fabric almost to death, so I'm very particular about the quality of fabric and the aesthetic of it all. And so I think really that's what disarms them. The fact that it is not what they expected. They thought they might come into the store to see, one of those black robes, the abaya things that you see in Dubai and all of that, and then it's something completely different, and it's something they don't really find anywhere else. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I like that you say that. You've sort of like created some sort of modern feel and look to what you would call the Muslim woman's experience in clothing.
Right.
So that's something that's new for a lot of us. I mean, I don't like gillies. I am a non-gilly wearing. If you see me wearing gilly, just know that I had no choice. Because it's much easier to just take, the
Absolutely.
and just put it on and just run with it, and you can have it in any colors.
Absolutely.
And lately, I found out that a lot of people are bringing to you like their ashoke to turn it into. I'm like, really, Schullzz, where have you been? Why didn't you think of that? So where did that, was it something you put out there? Did someone come to you with that idea?
So actually what happened was I have a friend, an egbon of mine who really liked our velvet. We started off with velvet turbans, and she loved them so much so that she just asked if I brought because then there was these wraps that were all the fad.
Yeah, that fabric where you had
fabric
to
that you just wrap and
I
wrap
never,
and
I
wrap
never
around.
could do it. I never could. Yeah.
And she was like, I have tons of these fabrics that I wrap around my head. Would you mind, just turning them? And I thought, what, no problem. Let's just see, because I've always been a fan of adaptive reuse. Funny enough, that was my thesis subject back in uni for my master's in architecture. So so I just thought, why not? And it came out really well. And really, that's just how it took off. I said, if we can do this, then any other thing that you have in your wardrobe, we should be able to, turn around and make it to a turban for you. Yeah.
Fantastic. Are there times when you create a piece and you know this is going to be a bestseller?
No. No.
So every time you create a piece, you start panicking.
Yeah, I panic. I do. And I guess that's because I don't know. As a creative, you always think you can do better. It can be better. That's why we never finish our own homes. We never finish our own paintings. There's always something. Let me add one dot. Let me just add one this. Let me add one that. So I always second guess myself. At some point I know I'm gonna have to, work on it. It is something that I work on, but as a creative, I don't think it's something that you can completely do away with.
I identify with that because with my music, I'm always feeling, look, with that playlist, I could have done better. I should have played this one before I played that. And growing up in my father's house, you'd wake up one day, there would be a hole in the wall because he's decided, he looked at it and the wall was not straight enough, or he's decided it will be a better access into the kitchen than going through the other way. So I quite understand where you're coming from.
Right.
Okay, we've got lots of songs to do, so we're going to do one more song, and this is by Mariah Carey, and it is called Fantasy. It is Venus Sessions with me, Schullzz, and I am talking to Salihat Rahaman. She's in the studio with us.